Exciting.
Here we go.
Here we go.
All right.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks for
Cheers to
coming.
that. Thank you for having me. Jeez. Let's go. It's a pleasure to be here, man.
I'm really excited to get to hear the urban legend Harry Hanna story.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
From it's really funny. Where I work, just random people know who you are. It's really funny. I'll just say, I work with a guy at a Port Hope area, and they're like Harry Hanna, like super fast, like the shirt. My buddy with the shirt today. Yeah, it's super small world, but it's really you definitely have an impact on a bunch of people.
Yeah, well, we get around, that's for sure. I mean, I've played a lot of bars, so and a lot of parties, and a lot of garages as well. So yeah, we've been around, and in the local area, we haven't hit like too many giant stages yet or anything like that. But it's cool to at least have that and have your people in your hometown that have your back and all that. And
people are rooting for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and hopefully not sharing the incriminating stories from behind the scenes.
A little bit of the dirt is okay too, right?
Yes, exactly. I don't mind that.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find the right audio, but either way,
You're good.
I mean, maybe we can start off with a bit of a bio. Like, where do you live? Where'd you come from? How did you get like?
Yeah. So what I've been landing on recently is leaning into the roots of kind of being a different breed of country folk, if that's what you want to call it, whether it's genre based or personality based. Grew up in Baltimore, Ontario. Went to school there. Was born in Port Hope, but then young age moved to Baltimore. Lived out in kind of the boonies there, far across the county line, I guess you want to call it. But yeah, and then kind of just grew up between that and then going up to like the family cabin. Spent a lot of time there when I was young. Like every weekend, we kind of took the place over from my grandparents or my great grandfather. He's the guy that built the cabin. And then throughout the years, it kind of, took its wear on weather. And so when I was a kid, we ended up going up there basically every weekend that we could to fix it up. So I ended up spending a lot of time in the Bancroft backwoods as well. And I started to play guitar up there. Back home, was playing guitar a lot. Started writing songs with family and my cousin, my brother. And once the bait kind of clicked, we got a little hooked on it, and then we've just been riding that since, I don't know. It's been a long time coming for sure to be at least even in the position I am right now, is small but mighty as we are. A little bit of, like you said, aiming for the small town hero. I don't know if you want to call it that, but something along those lines. So that's a little bit of one of the gists from where I come from.
I've noticed that with the music industry, at least, like a lot of families are supportive of the artists that I work with. Friends, next of, and that's really cool to see. They come out and they buy the tickets, they go to the show. Thank God for social media, the amount of people I see that share on social media anything somebody's doing, even if they don't go. Yeah, they're just telling other people to go, which is I like that. I like a little bit of positivity in an environment that is pretty negative.
Yes.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like anything you see now is like, politics or health this, government that, like the news generally isn't anything positive.
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like this should be a positive space.
Yeah, that's one thing that I love about music, that it gives you that ability to bring people together from all walks of life or whatever it is. And yeah, it's cool being from the rural areas where you're surprised how many people are out in the hills that will come out, for a show, or like you don't even think that live there, or you don't even think they're there half the time, but then no, they're listening. And I guess the trees are always talking or something like that. But
that's so good. The trees are always talking. So you're Baltimore, Coburg area. You said your family is pretty musically inclined background?
Yes, I would say so. Like my dad, probably on the most part, but even my grandpa on my mom's side was really, really into outlaw music, and he ended up collecting guitars, and then we would every time we'd go over to the family farm for like Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, we always had this kind of little family ritual where we would get out all these old guitars, like these old Martins. He had like, you know, one of the original replicas of the Johnny Cash guitar that he would always play, and it was like a special occasion thing. But yeah, he had like just this beautiful collection of guitars that every time we would get together, we'd pass the mic around. Didn't actually have a mic, but we'd pass it around. And then back home in my house, my dad was, you know, local country musician extraordinaire as well. And he's the guy that kind of originally put me into guitar lessons and then ended up taking over those guitar lessons and then just kind of let me fend for myself for a bit to figure it out and fall in love with it on my own. So it was never like a pushing, like, you got to do this kind of thing.
Was it a love-hate, like, yeah, I can't get this, I've got to get this? Or was it just like, I thoroughly enjoy?
It was always, I think I always thoroughly enjoyed music. So I had like a goal to get to, I guess, the area that like my inspirations were at. Like we were always listening to CDs. And I remember like one of the first CDs that me and my cousins were stoked about was, I mean, it was a Johnny Cash Greatest Hits album, but I remember like going over to their house and like them running out the door with this, and just being like, you got to check this song out. Like, he shot a man in Reno, you know, that kind of stuff or whatever. Yeah. And then it was a bit of a tug and pull on how we were going to get there or whatever. So we started like shooting the shit, writing songs in the garage between me and my cousin and my brother. And they were god awful. And,
some of the most famous songs are written in what, 10 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that?
It's something like that. Like, yeah. And that's still mind blowing to me. I mean, I've had experiences like that myself, but it takes a while to get that. And I guess my dad like had a great influence over me, in terms of just keeping going and just like, however you're playing, just play because you like it or play because you got the heart for it. Mm-hmm. But that being said, when he put me into guitar lessons early on, I was 7 or 8 probably at the time, learning Hot Cross Buns and songs like that, little nursery rhymes, and literally like falling asleep in the lesson, this and that. So the guitar teacher, I don't even know his name. I never really saw him again, but he did tell my dad that he was like, yeah, this might not be for this kid. Like, he's falling asleep, or maybe he needs a few more years, but like I wouldn't waste your money on this or whatever. And so there was a lot of give and take with that. And then I think once I figured out kind of, how to get through a song, even whether it was good or bad, it was like, and then sing something that you're passionate about. Then all of a sudden it started to click where I was like, hell yeah, let's keep this going and see what we can do with this. But yeah.
When did you start writing? Because I'm curious about this. We met about a year ago. North of Nowhere a year ago.
Yep.
You were playing with Riley Taylor. Nice shirt. There's
Hell
a
yeah.
plug
Yep.
Riley Taylor. And you were just writing in your notebook while you guys were playing, and I was just like, and I'm still green now, but I was still green to like the whole culture and all that
Yep.
stuff. And I it's kind of like comedians. You always have a little book of something, ideas or what, like you're always
Yep.
jotting something down for stuff. When did you start writing and taking that? And I'm asking that because everyone always, on the background of people that know you, they're like you're a lyricist. Like that.
Yeah.
Like you got a gift.
You
You got a gift.
Yeah.
You got a gift for that, or at least that's the way it's kind of sold to me. Is like you're very talented at writing.
Well, thank you for that. Like, and I appreciate the people that are rooting for me in that way, because definitely took a while. I started writing in I was messing around with it grade 4 or 5. But like I said, they were never like, I would show them to my friends or to my parents, and they're like, maybe don't play that one at the talent show or whatever. But but around like grade 7, 8, started writing more, and then but it was more so like when the inspiration hit or when we were feeling passionate, or if we did get the gig in the talent show, then like a month before we were like, oh, we got to write a song. And then I think like around like grade 9, grade 10, I was growing up in a family that was in the car industry as well. I guess I kind of left that out. But one of the things that my mom always had, and my aunts and uncles always had were blackberries or whatever. And so me and my cousins in around grade 9 or 10, we ended up getting some blackberries to be able to communicate or whatever, like the old keyboard ones with the brick breaker. And that was a pivotal moment for, well, I don't know. It wasn't, I guess, that moment, but I remember going over to my cousin's house, and he was like, he showed me a song that he had just wrote that was based on an experience or a feeling that he had with with family matters and then school, this and that. And then he brought up the fact that he wrote this on his BlackBerry on the Notes app or whatever. And then he just pointed out, like, you always have a notebook, like, in your pocket. Nowadays, it's an iPhone or whatever it is.
You just talk to it now.
Yeah, exactly. But you always have, like, a small notepad in your pocket. So then when you do get those sudden bursts of inspiration when you're stuck, I mean, maybe not stuck in traffic, but for me, it was like when I was in class or something like that, we would... you'd get it out and kind of, write down the idea. And
you texting nobody, I'm writing a hit number one.
Like, come on. Yeah, that's what we were aiming for from the beginning. But yeah, and then my grandfather and my great uncle, they were always like very inspired by the outlaw country music scene, like guys like Willie, Waylon, Dolly, and
Kristofferson.
Yeah, Chris Kristofferson, huge. Like, that's one of the, in terms of writing, he's one of the biggest inspirations for me. But one thing they would always tell me is, like, the songs that, like, some of the songs, like On the Road Again, Willie Nelson, like, he wrote that. He was running late to a movie. I don't actually, maybe have to fact check this, but he was running late to like a movie set, and he was on an airplane, and then needed a song for the movie set. I think it was like Huckleberry Rose, or I can't actually remember the movie, but anyways, he needed a song for the movie, and he was on an airplane and just kind of, I mean, not literally on the road, but he was on the move, and wrote that song, just got the idea, wrote it on a barf bag, is what he said. And so they would always tell me, anytime, whether it's, midnight and you just woke up out of whatever the hell it was, and you got that, what you think is the groundbreaking idea, like, don't wait till morning to write it down. Get up out of bed and, grab a notebook and start writing it down then, and see what you can do with it or whatever. And so that's what, I guess, inspired me to now always have the notebook around, and always, if you ever get those cool lines, or like, like, yeah, exactly.
Saying a phrase.
Yeah, like the trees are always talking. Like,
what did I do? Like, I'll say stuff to Steve. Like, I talk to Steve Waters all the time.
Yep.
And I'll just say random things, like, that's good, I'm writing that down. And I'm like, you're gonna use that in a song. He's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's where the best songs come from, is like phrases. Like, there's been times I've also spent, days or weeks trying to write something that is so profound or so, deep, and then you might even get a song out of it, but you overthink it a little bit too much, versus, and then it's not accepted in, like, I guess, just like a basic conversation or whatever. And that's where a lot of songs, like, when you listen to them, it's like a conversation, and there's usually, like, the singer is usually the narrator, but usually it's a conversation with either, like, their mom or their girl or their dad,
the world.
Yeah, exactly. And so a lot of songs, I think, are conversational based. So the best lines come out of conversations, I believe. But something like that, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't quote me, but I don't know. For
this is all permanent now. Everyone's to the end of time. The internet is forever.
That's it. But there is no right or wrong way to write a song. But I find, like, the best ones that connect, are, that letter that, well, I don't know, back in the day, it was like, a letter home from war, or like that thing you wanted to say to your mom that you weren't able to say in person. Something along those lines, where I think those, like, create some of the best connecting songs or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that it exposes a feeling. Generally, those ones that have that, I'm trying to relate to, like, just minor what I do. Every picture is a feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then that's what, it's funny, when I started doing it, everyone always was like, oh, they're very dark and dramatic. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Yeah, okay, I could see that. There's
Yep.
very like you got a feeling, you got a raw, and like capturing that moment,
Yep.
right? And I mean, a video can do different, but I mean, just taking the picture, editing it, same process. You guys write something down, then you add a rhythm to it, a bass. You tweak that song, and you make it a more of a feeling. But your feeling lasts 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Mine's a second. Like
Yeah,
you get
but
this, you look
same-
at that, right?
Yeah, same kind of thing where you just gotta like when you see that moment or you hear that line or you see that energy happening on stage, you snap that picture. A cool story, I guess, about photography that I heard was when Johnny Cash was playing in the prison, and I guess he had a lot behind the scenes. He had a lot going on, and I guess the warden or the prison was telling him what to play, what to say, kind of thing. And there was a photographer there that like noticed him getting kind of fed up or whatever. And then just at one point cracks the line like, "Hey, Johnny," he runs up to the stage like, "Hey, Johnny, can I get a word for the warden?" And gets that finger and then snaps that
$1 million
iconic
photo.
Yeah, exactly. Not staged, not planned at all. Just saw the moment and captured it or whatever. So
I literally try that every single time.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm going for, and it's not to be the best photographer in the world or videographer, whatever. It is literally getting a picture that somebody wants to blow up and put on their wall.
yeah,
That they want to make a shirt out of. A big one that I've got now is Spotify channels.
Yeah.
Like the artwork there. That I with my wife, I was like, that one's mine. That one's mine.
Yeah.
Your Instagram profile.
yep. That
So,
one's yours.
all the time. All the time. I love doing those ones, of having those, because that's something that somebody sees all the time.
Yeah.
So they appreciate that. And it's like somebody that plays your music over and over again. That's a constant drip of appreciation because they like the art that you did.
Yep.
So if somebody's willing to use something that I did on something that everyone sees, nobody in the world is like, who took that picture? But they're like, that's a cool picture.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean I like this art form matching that. It's an intermingle of art forms that works
100%.
so great. And
Yeah.
and now with social media and artists, it's a better time, I think, than it was, say, in the outlaw country time, because everyone has an opportunity, because there's a platform that everybody can be on, that you can showcase your stuff.
Yep.
And it's up to the masses if they like you or not. I mean, there's probably stuff in the background where, you know, a label's really pushing this person or that, regardless of their talent or not. But I mean, this is the time in 2025 where authenticity and people smell out BS a mile away. They can just tell. They're like, this, like they'll call out like some of the biggest podcasters being industry plants.
Yeah. Right.
You know
right.
what I mean? Or like artists that you're like, they're not that, or they meet them in person, like they're not that good. They're just really amplified. They got money behind them.
Yep.
And I find it very interesting now. Like it seems like that, like the genres kind of flipped to like the country music scene again.
Yep.
Right? Where like somebody said it was like bro country like 10, 15 years ago. Now it's like a honky tonk. It's coming back to the outlaw country thing. There's a lot of independent people because everyone is sick of being burned by contracts and
Yes,
just
sir.
deals that everyone's so like. Jelly Roll talks about it. Like there's a lot of people that talk about very big companies that they just milk that person for everything they can get out of them, make some money, and go on to the next person.
Yeah.
One issue happens, they're gone. Stuff like that.
It's a crazy industry that I'm like.
Am I wrong in any of that? Like, am I?
I don't think. I think there's good experiences and bad experiences.
Yeah.
But the good experience you see, like at the tip of the iceberg, is usually a good experience, and you don't see the hundreds of artists that were just about to get that moment through the label, or and
you
like
don't,
and
you don't
it's-
fit our brand.
Yes, or somebody else like went and took the brand and did it bigger, did it better, blew up in their own way, and then all of a sudden like a mass corporation that is investing a bunch of money into this, they're like, oh, like we're just gonna go with this guy because he's more he's a bigger product or whatever, if that makes any sense. And well, I don't know, that's just my views, and like I'm still like pretty uneducated with it all, but I think to go back on the difference between now and the outlaw scene before, what's cool about today is that I guess in comparison to back in the day it was like there was 5 people that could get their foot in the door, and once they were in the door they were all set. Nowadays, that door is blown wide open, and there's a million people in that room. But the difference is you still got to be the person that stands out in the room or is genuine and is true and authentic, and that stands out amongst those other, however many artists there are. Versus back in the day, you could, like, as long as you got your foot into that room, you were set or whatever, you were standing out or whatever. And I don't know. That's just, I guess, one of my observations. But yeah, nowadays, you can blow yourself up on either TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, or even just on a podcast. You never know. But yeah,
let's hope this is the proving ground.
We'll see. We'll see. Come on, we got to keep them lines coming.
I do. It's the odd time I go on TikTok just because of, like, its demographic for me is just I don't know why. Instagram relates more to me because I appreciate, like, certain artwork of photos or visual stuff. But then you've got TikTok, which seems to be more geared towards musicians. Or at least that's what I find. If there's if there's some new person out that I've never heard of, I'm just randomly scrolling through TikTok, and they're like, there's this random person, male or female. I'm like, this sounds pretty good. And then I'll go to their Spotify, right? And then I'll check them out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so the algorithm, the marketing, it's all working the way it should, because that's the whole point of it. It's like you're advertising your skills on somewhere, and then they're going to go to your other platforms to check you out.
Yeah, I'm definitely, like, I haven't had any, like, major traction on TikTok, but I've had, like, I mean, I went from probably having, 100 followers, 500 followers, and then all my videos are getting, this amount of views, like 100, then, 500, maybe if you're lucky, 3,000. And then literally one day for the North of Nowhere thing, I posted, like, an original song in my audition tape, and I ended up saying something like, I actually didn't know what to say to open it up, and I was just like, hey, Ontario, like, my name's Harry Hanna, I'm from Baltimore, Ontario, and the comment section ended up, like, blowing up with just people all across Ontario being like, hey, I'm from so-and-so, I'm from Brighton, I'm from Bancroft, I'm from Buckhorn, like, all these, and then even just, those are just a few of them, but I was just surprised on, like, how many people, and then they would comment, be like, yeah, we love your music. And it was a very healthy place to actually like have that, which I almost had some, I guess, animosity, because you can see it in certain cases it goes the other way.
Have you had haters yet? Have you had any shit talkers?
I think, like, I've had a couple, but I kind of just, I don't know, tune them out if I do. And, like, I don't pay attention to that side or whatever. But there's probably a few people that are shaking their fist at me.
I've seen and heard of haters on people's stuff. And then I've said this two things, two things for this, especially in this industry, is congratulations, you made it, because somebody's talking shit.
Yeah.
If it was high school, they're doing it, or in neighborhood, they're doing it behind your back. Yeah. They're doing it on social media to your virtual face, which is like, that's why you're exposed to the masses, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get some positive and some negative.
Exactly.
And I mean, you either take it with a grain of salt or whatever, but I like to try to put a positive spin. You're like, hey, I got haters. Bad PR is good PR too.
Exactly.
Like, fuck 'em.
100%. I agree with that.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. Some people just like talking shit. Some people like just being trolls. I troll some of my really good friends. Yeah. Just like political stuff. Like if they're like a diehard conservative, I'll just put like a far left post on there. If they're talking, if they're talking about their gun they just bought, or some politic thing, I'll just put the other.
I love that.
The other side, and then they'll call me and be like, I know what you're doing, but the people I'm friends with are from say the States or whatever part of the community, and they're like, they don't think you're kidding, and I'm like, perfect. I just like setting fire and see what happens, but 9 times out of 10 it never bites. Like people just ignore it now. I'm like, I just wanted to, because I like sarcasm. I like straight face opposition sarcasm, just to see people's expression. Yes, it's become an interesting talent doing photography, because I'm just there to capture you in a microsecond. So it's now I do it in my day-to-day life, where I can just, if you're like a lie detector, if somebody says something they don't mean, I'm like, you're lying. And like, how can you tell? It's like, because your face didn't work right. Or if they're like a fake smile, I can tell a fake smile 10 10 yards away or 100 yards away, whatever.
It's interesting. And I could imagine you get a lot of that behind the camera where you can see those, like those moments.
Fake
or
smile.
whatever. Yeah.
Even when you're
100%.
doing photo shoots with people, I'll full out call somebody. I'm like, you're uncomfortable and you're not smiling for real and you're paying money for this. So you better smarten up.
Yeah.
And they're just like, and they just laugh instantly. You got to make them joke. You got to have fun with them.
100%.
Right? Because you got to get a real smile and because then that's when the energy comes out of a photo.
Yeah.
Just like if you're not believing what you're saying on stage, people tell, the crowd can tell fast, right?
Yes. 100%.
Like you can read the masses of crowd. I can read individually. You can read a crowd really quick because you've done how many bar gigs,
Yeah.
how many festivals now? Like you just won North of Nowhere. That's a plug,
Yeah,
right?
that like in terms of festivals, I'm probably like I've done a few that I do every year. So I'm still probably like under 100 in terms of those. But in terms of bar gigs, I'm probably upwards of 1,000. And if anything,
Same bars or do you got a circuit?
I got a circuit. That's actually
plug them right now.
Right, eh? Like the one that I started out at was my hometown, Baltimore. Baltimore John's, like a dive bar. I mean, a good dive bar. The local, it's the only pub in town, so we don't got any other option.
So it's the best pub in town.
Yes, it's the best pub in town right there. Yeah, and then there's some spots in Coburg. And then I do a circuit between. I go all around from. I try to go within like maybe an hour to two's radius, and that's actually how I did get my start in music, was figuring out how to find your right circuit. I mean, you can't. At first, I was playing the same bars, in my hometown every week or whatever. But then you oversaturate yourself a little bit, and then
you become white noise or gray noise.
Yeah.
The same guy in the bar. Like I've heard the song 10 times.
Yeah, and then you could come up with a good lineup of original music, and then once you play it like 3 times over in the same month, they're already looking for, all right, we want that again or whatever. If it's good or whatever. Sometimes they'll just tell you to shut up if it's not or whatever. But if it's good, like they'll be like, all right, I want another 3 hours of that. And you're like, holy crapes, I just spent, a year to get this all together. Like I can't just do that in a month. And so for me, I ended up finding like a circuit within a couple hours radius where we were playing certain towns once a month, and playing in a hometown once a month, playing is that a truck going by?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a tractor. This is a
tractor.
pretty rural area. They'll
Of
be
course.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah,
right? When they start hauling ass.
Well, when I rolled in here, I saw some guys ripping up on some dirt bikes and 4-wheelers right down Main. So I was
Don't tell anybody that says this is going to be a secret spot unless it's on my bio, and I just sound like an idiot right now. But either way, I just want to have like a very, like a high. I've always wanted a speakeasy bar.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about like the early. I know we're segueing in
I love that.
conversation, but
That's
let's
cool.
just run with it.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have a speakeasy bar, and I wanted to have, and I just this whole area, this whole space was just created out of sheer, I can get rough cut lumber for cheap. I got it for a case of beer for half of it.
No way.
Yeah, like some, and then tin. I got
Yeah.
off the Mennonites for like, I went and got their seconds, whatever. Like I just built stuff. Like I didn't come from any money or anything like that. So it's like I just naturally know how to, like, whatever you got, you just make do with what it is.
Yep.
And my full-time employment, I'm able to take stuff out of the trash quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. And then I'm able to, and then obviously spend some money on obviously like certain cabinets and stuff like that. But because I like a little bit of organization, I've got way too much gear now, as you can tell.
Yeah,
like,
but you got to make it count. These mics, they're good.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, they're like from the first 4, which were I think the substance of the conversations were really good, but I didn't like the equipment.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, it takes it's same with live sound, all that. Like, I mean, you could do
that makes or breaks an artist is the sound.
You could do the best show of your life, and if your sound isn't right, you'll hear back those recordings, and you're like, what the hell was that? Versus doing the same thing in a proper studio or with a proper sound guy. That, and especially like on a festival level, like if you actually have a guy that's like his full-time job is to like turn the levels, it makes such a difference. Versus I've done other shows where, especially in the bar scene again, I'll be doing the sound kind of like today or whatever, where we're making tweaks or whatever. And but you'll be in the middle of a song and you're like, oh damn, I wish I could, have somebody to do this or that or whatever. And you gotta make it work. But then you do the same show on, you know, with good equipment on a festival stage with a guy that knows what he's doing, and it's same show or whatever, but audio wise and performance wise, it's just that much better. You feel that much more comfortable, all that. So, yeah, I don't know. I believe in good equipment. Like I don't know. I grew up around a few people like in the hockey industry. You know, they're like, oh, you should be able to use a wooden stick and, you know, still be able to put that puck top shelf or whatever. But and then there's guys that, you know, they need like the state of the art, like brand new equipment. And I believe it's good to learn on crappy gear. And it's good to figure out, you know, what's going on or whatever. Even like with a crappy guitar or whatever, you'll become a lot better of a guitar player than you would if you just, you know, right out of the gate spend, you know, $3,000, $4,000 on, you know, the best guitar, thinking that it's going to make you the best guy. But you gotta have the background, I guess, of like being able to use the gear.
Is there a clear difference? Because I'm really good at holding guitars. I look pretty awesome with them, but I'm not good at playing them, and I stay in my lane. So is there a difference between a cheap guitar and an expensive? Can you just like strum a cheap one? You're like, yeah, this is cheap.
Yes. Like for sure, there's a huge difference even in the wood that it's made from, the feel of the guitar, like how just how it feels. That being said, like you can still make a cheap guitar sound amazing. It kind of depends on who's playing it, but if you grow up, like when you start playing on a cheap guitar, it is harder to make it sound good, and you'll be like, what's going on here? Like these frets are too far apart, or the action's too high, or what? Just little things. But then I don't know. Early on, you kind of just got to make do. You know, your parents aren't going to buy you, or at least mine didn't buy me a freaking like, you know, a $3,000 guitar to start. It was a $500 Canadian made Norman. Shout out to Norman Guitars. Come on.
At Norman.
Yeah, and that actually like taught me how to play. And then recently I have since I've at least built up my my network and repertoire, there came a point like last year where I'm like, no, I'm buying a nice guitar, and for recording, I'm gonna have a nice guitar. So I have a nice Gibson, but then I also have like the same version of an Epiphone guitar, which is like the I don't know what to compare it to, but it's basically like I wouldn't say knockoff, but it's the more affordable version of a Gibson guitar.
Low, medium, high.
Yes, exactly. And my Gibson, there's been a few bar nights where, you know, it gets a little blurry by the end of it, and you sometimes leave a guitar behind, or you get home. This happened one time, and I didn't really remember getting home. This was an after party. I wasn't, you know, that tuned up while I was playing, but after, I don't know, somebody drove me home, and I got home and put my guitar in like the weirdest spot ever, like between like a cabinet. Like, I don't know what I was doing, but at the time, I think I had this memory. I'm like, oh, this is a perfect place to put my guitar. Anyway, woke up the next day, and it was like, where the hell's my guitar? And it was my Gibson, like the expensive one. And then all of a sudden, I'm texting up all my buddies, like,
where the F is it?
We almost caused a ruckus where I was like,
Carl, you fucking took it.
Somebody's got my guitar, and it's not me.
Never mind, it's behind the cupboard.
Yeah, literally 2 days later.
2 days?
Like 2 days. 2 days. And I'm like, just the whole time, just riddled with anxiety. And then finally, I think, I don't know, somebody ended up finding it, and they were like, what the hell is this guitar doing here? Like, I do have another spot where I keep all my guitars, and it wasn't there or whatever. So anyway, somebody brought it out, and they were like, like, whose guitar is this? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the one that was missing, and I might have chewed a couple people out about it.
Who put that there?
Yes, like, Jesus. So that was funny. And then since then, and I always have had like a cheaper guitar that for if I'm going out partying or whatever, a bit of a beater guitar that I can do pretty much anything to. Or like if I'm playing a gig or playing a pub and things get rowdy afterwards and it gets left behind, it's not the end of the world or whatever. You're still like, damn. But then I've always got it back or whatever. But there has been numerous times where I'm like, just left the guitar behind. Sorry about that. And we just got to go back the next day. Good excuse to have a drink. But
is that your Gibson in that photo?
Yes, that is the one. That is exactly, and that's actually like a couple weeks after I bought it. Like,
No
I'm not
way.
even sure if it was fully paid for at that time.
Is anything really paid for? It's called crippling debt. And is that the same guitar over in the other one, the black and white?
Yes, that one as well.
Same guitar.
Yes, that one's the same guitar. Oh, sorry, the one underneath is the Gibson, and the one over top is the Epiphone.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're pretty, like, they look very similar, but you would notice the feel. Like, if I give it to even like a professional, they're like, "What the hell? Like, what are you doing playing this thing?" And I'm like, "Well, it's got a story to it. It's got a sentimental place in my heart, and I'm not a, I don't know, one of these, I don't know. Well, we've done some pretty crazy things to it. I don't know. There's some stories that I'll tell you off camera, but I don't know. We'll see.
Say how many drinks you have. And you might
Yeah.
tell me
Well,
on
yeah,
camera.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this garage is full of sentimental things. So if there's anybody that appreciates that, it would be myself.
Yeah, right, eh?
A lot of the things in here are all originals. And it's funny. A lot of people just look around, and then now I've got photos, like a gallery all over the walls. And I mean, people can't see it, but I'll probably try to put them up on the screen or something.
Yeah.
Just to give reference to what we're talking about. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what he means. But yeah, everything in here, it's like there's some sort of sentimental thing to it and a story, no matter what's here. And you think that you've like people just put random things on the wall, like it's shenanigans,
yeah.
or whatever bar with just random crap on the wall. I'd be like, no, everything. I can tell you everything and where I got it.
Yeah.
And then I will trade somebody for something because they'll be like, oh, you'll sell me this thing. Like, I've got a pedal car up in the top. And I'd be like, oh, I want that. I'm like, no. And they're like, I was like, well, that's great, but you got to trade me something that I think is cooler to put up there.
Yeah, right, eh?
Right? It doesn't matter what it is. Like, I got a plate. I forget what it is. A buddy wanted a Matchbox car behind me. I'm like, well, give me something for it. He's like, I'll give you money. I'm like, I don't want money for it. I got to replace it. I'm like, just give me something cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember actually my dad owns a used car dealership, and I believe my great grandfather started up as well, and my grandfather really ran it just through a boom. But we had this shop in the back area, and same kind of thing. The amount of knickknacks or like sentimental things that were in there, it was literally like most people would just be like, "Holy crapes, this place is filled with junk," or whatever. Whether it be signs or license plates, cars, model cars, tires, even in some cases. And it was funny though. At one point, there was too much of it, and we didn't have any room for it. So my dad did an auction for it, and it was funny throughout the auction. Everything that we thought would go for high value, or we're like, oh, that's like, oh, our whole lives we're looking at that. We're like, oh yeah, that's like, if we ever sell that sign or whatever, it's gonna be a pretty penny. And like the things that we thought would go for high value ended up going for lower value, and then there was things that we thought would go for low value that went high value or whatever. So I don't know, throughout time things change or whatever, but it's also hard to say like what those, once you do get into selling sentimental things, it's tough where you're like, I don't know, or yeah, you think it's worth this much, and usually it is, to you or to your family, but to when it comes down to the price of $1 or some, I don't know. Yeah, it's different or whatever, or it doesn't mean the same thing. It'll look cool for somebody else, but they won't have the same sentimental value to it or whatever.
I can relate. My mom's passing this year, and she had some furniture and stuff that was stored in the barn. And my sister and I, we don't like, coming from an old farmhouse. Like, they had big furniture.
Yeah,
we had big furniture.
Yeah.
And we have a friend that restores, which is a great idea, and I love supporting, obviously anybody if I like what they're doing. And she restores these hutches or chests or whatever, and then sells them. And then I said, I got one for you right here. Come get it. And then it was a big pine piece, like a full, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, you'd save up like $5,000 or $6,000,
Crazy.
and you're a huge pine, like nice handcrafted stuff. Our house is not big enough for that. I'm never going to buy a house big enough for that.
Yeah.
And I said, come get it. And she's like, oh my God, I'll give you money for it. I'm like, nope. I'm like, you're doing me a favor by repurposing it. I can't throw it out. I'd rather see somebody do something with it and it keeps living on that way. And then she comes back with, I think, bread homemade jelly, like
Wow.
red pepper jelly that she makes, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, I hope she makes a business out of that because it's phenomenal.
Oh,
We buy it
geez.
all the time. It's limited run. She
I've
only
had
does
that.
it out of the garden.
Yeah.
She only can make so much based upon her garden, but it's phenomenal. But she brings back a bag with a ring in it. It was my grad ring from when I was grade 8. So we clean out the farmhouse, and we, you go through jewelry and stuff that your parents kept and stuff like that. And I couldn't find this ring, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it got lost in translation or whatever. She brings it back, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, there's payment right there. There's karma, 110%. You do something for someone else,
No
and
way.
she had
was in the
it's a
hutch.
pure gold ring. Yeah, it was in the hutch
Holy.
because she's gone
Jeez.
through it or doing something. Pure gold ring. She could have hawked it and done whatever.
Yeah.
Nope. Brought that over and said, here you go. I found this, and I was like, and it's got my initials. Obviously, it doesn't even fit my pinky.
Wow. That's a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's right. Do good things. Like,
yeah.
Good things.
Yes,
That's it.
exactly.
And it's like, obviously you can throw the stuff out, you can burn, you do all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I've got stuff. I got harvest tables. I made some, and then we had like a big farm table. I'm not going to part with that. It's got to go to a home where somebody's going to use it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
And again, we don't have a big enough space to use it here, right? But it's not a lot of things, but it's certain things.
Yeah.
And
like,
everything else is on the wall.
yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, you only got so much room on the wall. Jeez.
I've literally thought of like the artwork, like the photos, making books because nobody has photo books anymore,
yeah.
right?
No.
And then people can cycle through them like a coffee table book of like Western stuff, music artists, motorsports, whatever. I take pictures, just keep it in a certain catalog because I've got hard drives full of just stuff people don't ever see. A lot, like when you do stuff for artists,
Yep.
I think they only show half the time, 10% of it.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm just like, there's like, and like my wife sees it all, and she's like, what about this? I'm like, they don't want to put it up. They got people got stuff going on. That's not what they're thinking about.
And I don't know, sometime down the line, it usually comes out at some point. But yeah, like you said, the amount of stuff that can get lost in translation or vision, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think actually to go back in the photo book, one of the best gifts that I think my family ever got at our family cottage, we share it with a lot of, like, my mom. I guess she had a big family, and every year, like, since I was a kid, a couple times a year, everyone comes up and we all do this like big family gathering, fishing, cooking, partying, all that. But like, since I was a little kid, and one of our family friends was an amazing photographer, and we didn't ever see any of these photos or whatever. For like, she would show us here and there, or bring like a canvas here and there, for like a special occasion, birthday gift or whatever. But then one year, it might have been for my dad's birthday, she got him a photo book of like the past 15 to 20 years of photos of, like, even seeing me when I was young, like catching, wouldn't have been maybe my first fish or something, but yeah, you
Sunfish on the dock.
yeah, stuff like that. And it, or
Black
like,
and were they in color or black and white?
color, color for me. Yeah, and a few might have been like, it would have been like a creative choice for black and white. But yeah, then to look back through all these moments that you're like, oh, I forgot about that, or I didn't even remember that, or you see your dog when she was just a pup, and like, it's just a beautiful thing. And then to look back and now it sits on the coffee table up there, and it's a bit of just a prized possession where everyone that comes through, they can look through it throughout the years, and it's the Hannah Cottage, like, so
Hannah Cottage.
yeah, so it's that's a special thing. But yeah, I don't know.
I literally try to make photos for people look like they're from like the 20s.
Yeah, I mean, well, it ends up putting like a good amount of like nostalgia to it, eh? Like,
I literally try to make an art for it where, like, at least one, if like whoever I work with notices it or not, and when I put it in the collection, like when I do, like, say, a run of their photos, I always try to do one where it looks like it's from like a black and white, grainy as hell, overexposed, like just a crappy
I love
camera
that.
taken wrong, but in a good moment.
Yeah,
I find one and I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's just like a little Easter egg I put. Nobody's noticed it yet. I know somebody's gonna watch this and they're gonna start going through like,
yeah, no,
which one is it now? But I do that all the time just to see who pays attention.
Yeah, right, eh?
Yeah.
That makes sense. When it comes to making show posters, I do that, or I try to like make, if it's like for a bar, like I'll try to make it look like a raggedy old like show poster that you would see on a wall or a flyer or something
Vintage.
like that. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I think it bleeds into, I don't know. This is my personal observation as well, but like photos and art is like a way to kind of time travel, and it makes moments timeless or whatever. And it's cool to just give that a bit of a head nod or whatever. I don't know if that's what it is, but to me, it's a beautiful thing where when you can capture those moments, it doesn't matter when it was, whether it was 10 years ago or 100 years ago, or I don't know. It's interesting where it's just it's a time capsule or whatever. Mm-hmm.
You're stuck in time for a moment. I have that, and I don't come from a photography background at all. I'm like self-taught, and it took me a month or two.
Right.
Just going down rabbit holes, which is as fun as my pastime. My hobby, like my wife will.
I like that.
She'll just watch me get it, like vintage trailers, like our '62 Glendale out there, restored. It looks vintage on the outside, fully new and modern on the inside. We went down the rabbit hole on that, just like everything there is to know about trailers from when they start, the history of them, right? When people went through a Great Depression and then they lost all their homes, and then that was their home, was trailers. That's why you'd have like a Spartan from like the 50s, 40s, I believe, like old trailers.
Yeah.
They're homes. They're beautiful. Now they're cookie cutter, particle board, mass produced. I get it. And, everyone wants to get into it. They want to do it for a cheaper price, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But they're not, like our 62 is built better than we had a brand new 2020 trailer. It is far better structurally. Obviously it's got some cuts and scrapes and bruises to it.
Yeah.
But the quality, it makes sense why the company never lasts, because they built a really cool product.
Yeah, and that's like, I guess you can understand it from like, I guess, a business or industry point of view.
I get why they do it.
But at the same time, it's like, wow, like even in terms of cars, one of my dream cars is like, getting one of those old Lincolns or like an old Buick that, is like an old boat.
Yes. I love the Continental, like the movie Hit and Run with Dak Shepard.
I don't think I've seen that, actually. Not yet.
I'll put a stamp on that. That is a movie that if you have time in your busy schedule to watch, that is, if you're a car person,
yes, sir.
Every one of the cars in that movie is his.
No way, eh?
That is, he did a Dak Shepard show.
Yeah, I know
of the guy.
Well. Yeah, me too.
But he's a huge car guy. And he did that movie as a remake to Smokey and the Bandit.
Ah, yes.
So
classic.
And
I've seen that
one.
And
only people that kind of follow him or know anything about him know that, because the movie was done for like $1 million. Like it was something super cheap, because his wife was in it, all of his friends were in it. All the props are all of his cars.
Yeah,
he was the director, he was the writer, all that stuff, and he was I got down again another rabbit hole in that thing, and it was like, this is cool. He's got a Lincoln done up in it, and it is beautiful car, and he drives it in the whole time in the movie, and it is sweet.
That's unreal.
It's a boat, and it just hauls ass. I'm a Charger guy. I'm a '69 Charger, like the General Lee, all day long. If I had that lottery money, that'd be the first car I'd buy, and that'd be the car I drive every day, no matter what.
100%. Oh, I feel that. For me, one of my at least when I was like getting into being a touring or like an independent touring musician. My dad, he was well versed in the used car industry, and we kind of found like a good car that's good on gas, has space, and it's not the coolest thing ever. I won't even say what it is, but or maybe I will. It's a Dodge Journey, but yeah,
Journey,
the old Dodge Journey,
okay.
And I took it out east, and like I've lived in it, or at least lived in it out east for a month when I was doing this small town pub and brewery tour, and I brought a tent and could fit all the stage gear.
You boondocked
it, yeah. And I got some stories about that.
That's cool. That would be cool to film getting somebody's journey like that, and like photography, like filming that would be really cool. Like the journey of it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I tried to document it a little bit just on my iPhone, but I just wasn't good at it and got a lot of pictures. I actually have a lot to go through.
When did you do that?
That was like a year and a half ago, I would say, in the summer. Like, it was just such a funny experience. where like 6 months prior, I just called up a bunch of pubs, breweries, like any small venue that
This wasn't organized. You just did this.
I just did it. Like I just like dialed up the pubs and
That's a
was
pub
like,
crawl across Canada.
yeah.
That's cool. See,
did
that's where you got to document it, and then it gets some traction.
Well, what was so funny about it, and I was like, the only way I'm going to be able to like afford this or make money out of this is to rule out hotels. So set up the car to have like a bit of a kitchen in the background. The back seats held my gear. I had gear in the passenger seat. The passenger seat was fairly open just in case. But yeah, it was driver's seat. Back seats are plugged with the gear, and then I set up like a kind of a kitchen kind of pantry setup in the back with a little propane stove. And then I just bought a damn good tent to that was weatherproof.
You wanted to get out of the car.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. And so what was so funny about it was I did it in August. August was the time to do it, and the July month was like it was a heat wave. It was beautiful. I mean, not ideal for heat, but it was sunny, blue skies, no wind, no nothing. And I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna be cruising, you know, might get a little hot, but that's no big deal. Like we'll figure it out. You're on the East Coast, you know, like, you know, can't buy the ocean or, you know, go for a swim or whatever if it comes to that. And what ended up happening was they got torrential downpours for like, I don't know. It was like when I first got there, it was like 9 days straight. There were so many nights where I'd like be set up, be good to go, and then would get like woken up by like a violent storm or like a violent rains or whatever. Like I'd be packing. I'd go to bed at like friggin' 4, like I don't know, like 3 to 4 in the morning, and then get woken up at like 6:30. Like as soon as sunlight came around, it's like, all right, we gotta keep this car on the road, like pack up the tent, pack up the camp, and keep on moving on. And there was just one spot around the Cabot Trail on the far end. I really liked the Cabot Trail. That was probably where the best stuff happened. And I'd be like a couple days in between shows at that time. And so I'd have time to at least explore the area and like camp out and just get some cheap thrills on the day off. But yeah, there was one day where I found a beautiful campsite. It was amazing. Next thing you know, 6:30 comes around and like, yeah, the tent's just flapping, the winds are blowing, rain's pounding, and 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Like I was celebrating the night before, had a good show, and was really hoping to get a sleep in that day. And then it was like got this intuition that no, we got to get out of here. We got to keep this train on the track. And I could feel the water starting to kind of wash out underneath my tent, and ended up getting set up, came around the road, and on the road was a bit of a washout starting to happen. And like there was a couple inches of water or whatever, enough to just drive through it or whatever. Literally an hour later, road gets washed out and closed the road. And so I literally got through it just in the break of day. But if I didn't get that intuition or that healthy amount of anxiety that morning, I would have been.
Sense, you could feel it.
Yeah, exactly. I would have been. I don't know. I would have either had to go around the other way, which was another probably like 3 to 6 hours, 5 hours, to get to the next place, or 1 hour to just keep it going on the road.
It's kind of fun, just exploring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it was hilarious, and there was a lot of I guess adventures and stories that came out of that. I ended up. That was when I first stayed out in Meat Cove. Shout out to Meat Cove. There, come on.
Meat Cove.
Anybody who knows what Meat Cove is, they know. Beautiful place. Beautiful place, actually. It's a campsite, like right on top of a cove, basically. Like absolutely beautiful. And I didn't even plan to play there, but I was told like you got to check out Meat Cove. Like you got to go camp it's like literally camping on a cliff. And I ended up getting there. Like that was actually a really funny story. I got there. I rolled in with the Dodge Journey and just the thing loaded to the brim, and it was a first come first serve campsite. So I tried to call in advance to at least see if they could, you could reserve something. They were like, no, like
they're booked up a year in advance.
They're like, get here as soon as you. They don't even book up. Actually, they just, since they do take so many bookings, if they did, they're like, no, we're just actually going to give the people around here a chance. And it's first come, first serve. But you could get there. It's actually on the northern peak of Cape Breton, like the northern tip.
Yeah.
So it's, as far as you can go in terms of Cape Breton. And yeah, I just got told, like, yeah, get here quick if you can. And so, yep, that day I packed it up and ripped out there. And they managed to have like one or two sites available. But I came through like the gate or just by the people. Wasn't like a huge gate there. But yeah, and it was a family owned business, like mom and pop, and then they had a little kid there, probably around like 8 or 9. And this kid, like, he was like, oh, you got to stay at this campsite. And then his parents were like, oh, no, you don't got to do that. You don't, that's okay. And I'm like, I don't know, like, if he's saying I got to stay here, like, I should stay here. And then as I pull through, they also saw the music equipment and they were like, oh, are you a musician or something? And I'm like, well, just so happens I'm on this little solo tour. They're like, come on, you got to play a show here. So I got some amazing pictures and a little bit of footage there, but,
just like a little private show.
yes, for the campsite and just off the cuff the day of or whatever. But yeah, so it was actually one of my favorite shows to this date. But leading up was crazy. So get this. I roll into this campsite where this kid, like 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, was telling me, oh, you got to camp in this spot. And it was like off the beaten path. It wasn't the most like scenic campsite. But anyway, set up camp and I'm looking around and all that I see is like this little jump. Like, it looks like a little like bicycle jump, like one of those little, like a little kicker or something like that for anyone who knows. And I'm like, oh, like, dude, like, must got some bicycles around here. And all of a sudden I hear this little Honda 50 just crank up. And yes, like, and then I see this like 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid just come ripping around the campsite and just launches it off. And I was, yes, like, thank you, buddy, for telling me to camp here. Like, that was like, I used to do that shit with my brother and my growing up. So I just couldn't.
Hell, I still do that now.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that was wicked. I thank the kid. I don't even know. I didn't get their names actually, or like did, but like it's been so long now. Unfortunately, like I can't remember them enough to shout them out. But Meat Cove Campground, that was it. But excuse me, I guess to end the story, the one big kicker with this show was it was so funny. Since I had ripped out there, I didn't stop like at a market or anywhere to like grab some food for the night. And I kind of like, I don't know, hence the name. I'm like, Meat Cove, like they got to have a little something out there, like a little, I don't know, a little market or something like that. Nothing. And so I had some like rations or whatever you want to call it, that I was like a just in case kind of thing.
Fishes and pretzels.
Yeah, a little bit of, yeah, literally. And then so I asked them, I was like, is there anywhere like, I could maybe get like, I don't know if there's like a seafood stand or something like that. And they're like, oh, no.
A lobster boil somewhere.
Yeah. They're like, no. But little buddy here, he can take you out for a fish on the beach if you want. And he might be able to catch you a mackerel. And then I'm like, whatever. Hell yeah. Let's go. And then so set up camp. And he grabs all of his stuff. And then we go down there. Go down to this cove. It's like a pebble beach, like in a freaking cove. Like 100 feet tall cliff. I don't even know, actually. It's if anyone's seen the picture. I mean, somebody look it up because it's beautiful there. Anyway, we get down on this beach and he's like, oh, have you ever fished in the ocean before? It's a little bit different than lake fishing, so I'm really gonna have to show you how to do it. And then he's just casting.
You need to bring 8 beers.
Yeah. So I had a few down there, and. Oh my God. And so they're like, I'm casting. And he's like, no, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. He takes the rod from me and he's like, watch closely. And he's just going overhand cast, overhand cast, overhand cast. He was like, you're not watching close enough. Watch me closely. So like I get kind of like, I don't know, a few feet. Oh, it had to have been around like, 6 feet so away from him. And I'm like, just watch him. He's overhand cast, and then this little bugger just pulls a sidewind cast. And like I'm standing here, got my beer in my hand. I'm like, yeah, like what's going? And then all of a sudden, he does this sidewinder cast. Freaking, I just feel like my hand just get hit, and my beer can flies out to sea. Like I just watch it like just fly out, and then I'm like, uh-oh. And then oh, I shouldn't have even said this. I mean, and poor lad, but it's funny. But yeah. So then, yeah, he ends up. I didn't end up getting hooked. He hooked the beer can.
Luck. I was saying the whole time. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, you
and then he had this giant spoon on the for a bait, and then that was what clipped like my paint or like clipped my hand or whatever, and just kind of took a little bit of a chunk out of it, and all of a sudden I'm like, like yeah, musician, guitar player. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh no, and I had already agreed to play the show for them that night or whatever. So hilarious. Well, I mean,
I need my hands.
yeah, exactly. And so I was almost, I'm like, oh shoot, like I might have to call this off. Like, and then at that point, or at least after like 5 minutes, you know, it started to get gory a little bit, and like, you know, there was
It actually nicked you.
it did, like, or at least the spoon was like, I don't know, it was like a 3 to 4 inch spoon, and maybe like I don't know, somewhere around like 3 to 5 inches, and then
Biggest spoon I've
pretty.
ever seen.
Yeah, no, like, excuse me, I might be wrong. Like, I don't know. It was, I don't know. It was, geez, yeah, I might be a little wrong here, but,
Massive.
yeah, it was huge. It was huge. But then, and it had some, it had some weight to it. And so, yeah, it ended up just taking a chunk out of me. Kind of like the day of, I was like, oh, damn, like, as a guitar player, maybe I should get this checked out. But we were out too far in the boonies to worry about that at the time.
It's a moral thing.
And I had a little, like, just a little camp first aid kit or whatever. But anyway, this kid got super like anxious about. He thought he was going to get in trouble with his parents, so he was like, "Please, like, you can't tell my parents, like, don't, like."
They're gonna beat me. They're gonna beat me. Yeah.
He was worried.
Should be a little fucker.
It was, and then and then so like I get the polysporin out, a little bit of tape, and some Band-Aids, all that, and then it's like, well, in 2 hours we got to play the show, so hopefully we figure it out. And I will say it was one of the it was the best show, in my heart, one of the best shows I've ever played.
It was local, it was intimate. Right?
Yeah, but I will say my hand was bleeding, and it did get gory. And actually, on that Epiphone guitar over there, you will see on the inside there's blood on the inside, and like, yeah, and I was like, I gotta soak up this moment or whatever, and yeah, just say fuck it, and then yeah, got through the show, got through the night, and it was just such a special occasion where everybody from the campsite started hearing the music, all came up, brought their lawn chairs, and like gathered around, and just an amazing show all in all. And then I just rode the high until about 3 days later, I did make a stop at like the Churro hospital, and just was like, just make sure that I didn't actually break anything here. It got pretty swelled up in the days later, and all that, but no, they said I was fine, and we just kept the show on the road. So that was it. But that's geez,
Cheers.
That's Meat Cove right there.
That's cool. I never knew that you did that, and that's creative. That's pretty interesting. That's really cool.
It was a rugged rugged
people
tour.
Do that? Have you heard of anybody that done? Like, where'd you get inspired to do that?
Maybe Stompin' Tom.
Really? Is that
like,
what he did?
Actually, like, I really appreciated Stompin' Tom for touring Canada, like in the way that he did it.
He just did it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, you know what? Like, Canada, it doesn't have. I mean, it has its hubs in the cities, but rural Canada does not get the same tours that rural America gets, or whatever. Like in the States, you can go from state to state, or, you know, take the interstate or whatever, or even you can go, like, everything's pretty, I guess, like there's not as much space between cities, I think, or I don't know.
Logistically, it's a thing to do, but I think it's a cultural thing. If I can have an opinion on that.
Yes, for sure.
And I think it's a comeback now for not a comeback. Maybe it's going to be a starting thing for Canadians.
Yeah.
To do more stuff like that, because I think everyone's getting bored with watching maybe Netflix or whatever, because you got so many options. You're like, click, click, click. I appreciate live music. Yeah. Like, everybody that came to my birthday party here, that was how it was set up, or like, when are we doing that again? Yeah. And it's like, when you pay for it, like this was a favor everyone did. Right? Yeah. There was favors pulled here, but I mean, you're a few $100s a person.
Yeah.
and then plus audio equipment, and it's a small, and there was like, it was awesome. And like, I would love to do it again. I would like to set that up in the future.
Yeah.
To do stuff like that. Like, that's super cool.
Yeah, I feel the same. Where I've been thinking about putting together, my own party. But I think it's a matter of, I guess, either pay what you can or maybe do. Well, I don't know. You can't pay the bills potluck style, but if you do, I don't know, $10, $5 a person. I don't know. For
If
that,
you build it, they will come.
And for that level of what we had here, like, oh my God.
That got street cred to the people still
Yes.
in the neighborhood. Like, when are we doing? Because the bars closed down.
Right.
And even the bar, like, you would have people come in there that were good at playing music, but the bar didn't have that same vibe of, like, multiple people. And it's like,
Right.
And I've said this to a few people now. I said, I think we need to start doing multiple people lineups, because it's not that the people aren't good, but people's attention span are so short now. If you had like a 15-minute set, you would pick your 4 best songs.
Yeah.
Right? That you're like your bangers, and maybe one that you'd work out in there.
Yep.
Right? A new one, right? You'd say three known ones, your top 3, and then one that you're like, you're just gonna mess around with it and see how this works. But then you change it, and then you guys all play together. They're like a writer's round stuff,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
And then everyone calls it Nashville's writer round. And like, I think the need in the industry needs to be get away from Nashville and make our own thing up here.
Yeah, Nashville North. I don't even know if you want to include Nashville. I love Nashville, but yes,
Nashville's super cool.
As a Canadian, it's like,
you gotta have your own culture.
Yeah.
Like, not stop, but I mean, like, maybe not piggyback other people's stuff.
Yes.
And even though it is like a hub for, like, it's like Hollywood for musicians.
Yes, yeah. And what I've heard is like there's so much, like, actually the local community in Nashville struggles because there are so many tourists, or not, like, I wouldn't say tourists, but musicians that come there from out of town, that there's so many of it going on that they end up pushing the locals out or whatever.
Saturated.
In a sense or whatever, which, like, yeah, like, I love Nashville. I've spent a bit of time there, but I kind of learned quick where I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's a lot more opportunity there than there is in small town Ontario. So there's some people that they need that to make their career happen, and they do it. But on the other end of it, it's like, if you can make, nowhere somewhere, that's what Nashville started with. I actually don't know, but like, basically, like, places like, there's hubs that, like, they started as nothing. There's places in Texas. I love Texas for, like, they just take so much pride in themselves. And, like, if you're not from Texas, usually, like, you have a hard time playing in Texas. Like, I ended up playing a show there, and or just like a pop-up show. I was doing like a writer's retreat with a group of artists. And anyway, and then we went to see this local band. And then the head of the writer's retreat ended up being like, hey, you got to get this guy. I was like 20, 21 or whatever. And they were like, get this kid up on the stage. And I ended up singing with the bandmates from Asleep at the Wheel. It wasn't like an official Asleep at the Wheel show. And I don't know if you know that band, and I didn't even at the time, but I guess, like, they were like the Tragically Hip to Texas.
Okay.
Or what the Tragically Hip is in Canada, they were to Texas. But it was just like, they weren't under the same name. It was just band members, a band kind of like that they kind of picked up on their own. Anyway, they let me play a Willie Nelson song, and like, I had some fun with it. And it was a 1-song thing. And then after, they were like, all right, tell us who you are. And I said my name, and I'm like, yeah, I'm from Canada. And then instantly they're like, get this guy off the stage. They loved it, but they're like, never again.
Yeah, that's what I kind of appreciate about the States, is that they're very patriotic.
Yes,
and
yes.
I wish Canada was a little bit more like
touching
on a little bit of politics. I don't think it's not. It's like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
Maybe a 2.
Yes.
I would give it that. And it's like, coming from like a World War II veteran family background. It's like, it's like I have faith, say, in the country and the culture and stuff too. But I think we're a little bit lost at this point in time.
It's and it like, it's
a little bit too muddy.
Yeah. And I believe, I don't know. I'm in the same way, where there's like a reason why I was born here. There's a reason why I have family heritage here. There's a reason why, I guess, my family, like dating back great-grandfathers, grandparents, and even before that, like, there's a reason why, I don't know, they believe in Canada. And And now, yeah,
Because
there's
you're leaving a place that wasn't that great, and then you're trying to make a place better. It's like
Yeah.
moving to a new home, and we're
Yeah.
gonna make it better than the house we just moved from.
yes, exactly, yeah. And yeah, so I don't know. I just wish, or I mean, I hope. I guess I hope for just like, I know, you know, it's no simple answer, no simple feat, but just unity and pride or whatever. Yeah, pride for like where you are, where you stand, and where your heritage is, and
And I don't mean like that elbows up crap, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
whole like
yeah.
the slogan they put around in an election type of stuff. Like, I don't dig any of that whatsoever. I'm like, give me a fucking break.
yeah, like it's sometimes on that end, like it can get, or at least in my opinion as well, it gets a little bit cheesy, or this or that, but
Promote the culture, promote
Yeah.
the art form,
Yeah.
what we have, right? Like this is a great place. I
Yeah.
mean, you got lakes for days. Bring back the garage beers and darts.
come on, yeah.
I said that to somebody at my work. They're like, "That's not a culture thing." I'm like, "If you're anywhere north of 7 or outside of a GTA, it's a thing."
Yeah,
you want
like-
to have beers and darts in the garage? 100%. That's a cultural
yeah.
thing.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Everyone recognizes with it. You got like I was going to smoke 1 pack today. Now I'm 2, and then a case of beer later. I got to
Yeah.
go to work in the morning. You're like, oh well, it's gonna be a little bit rough today.
Yeah, let's just have a good time with our neighbors. That's
Yeah.
That's-
This community is really good for that. I will
Yeah.
say that where we live here, it is really good for that. Like any natural disaster, people are pulling out chainsaws and helping Hydro One.
right. Yeah, that's,
like it's nuts.
yeah, that's a crazy thing. Yeah, we have that at that bar, my the hometown bar, Baltimore John's. Like, it's so funny, you know. People, you know, every now and again, you know, you get there people with complaints here and there about, you know, it's not this or not that. But at the end of the day, the community kind of keeps on showing up, and like there's always a community there, as opposed to, you know, some of the other bars around. Or at least I've played at a lot of bars, and it's like the one bar on a Tuesday night. It'll be 9 o'clock, and you know it's still a full bar or whatever. And like I said, like it's the only bar around, but you just have that community that keeps on showing up, and they have their differences here. People get in disagreements, people get in fights. There's been bar fights, you know. But at the end of the day, like community is community, and it's something that I think we should. I don't know. Yeah, just everyone
Do better.
Yes, yeah, or at least
better.
we can all take a good amount of pride in just being united or whatever. I don't know what it is, but yeah, or just strive towards that, and strive to. And I guess music, I'm fortunate to like be in the position where you can bring people that, you know, that might not see eye to eye, but then just put them in the same room and just be like, all right, differences, leave them at the door. If you do got some major differences, step outside, deal with them.
Go to the alley. Go to the alleyway. We'll put some money on it.
Yeah,
it's fine. Everyone gets paid.
Yeah, that's it.
The bar gets a cut. It's fine.
Yes. Oh my God.
No knives, preferably.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Please. Yeah. Just keep it fair and
Keep it above the belt, people. Above the belt.
Like, come on.
This
And
isn't Fight Club.
yeah, I love that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just cool to like, I don't know. You shouldn't feel like bad for wanting that or whatever.
I don't.
Yeah, no, and yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm fortunate to at least be on the music end of it, where it's like, yeah, let's just bring everybody together and have a good time, and everyone's welcome. You know, whatever.
You're in control of that stage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You're in control of that stage and the atmosphere around you.
Yeah, exactly.
You do have fun music. Like I will say, like I love it when you do the song Alberta and then get everyone to shout back.
It's like,
Alberta. I'm like, that is a great tune.
yeah, we might be doing something with that actually. It might be too soon to say, but I recorded it in a studio. We'll see what happens. But I will say it's way funner in the bar, or it's way funner at the festival, or it's way funner
More
like
fun.
yes, more. Yeah, exactly. But like right now, I recorded it. Actually, that one was a fun one that I wrote when I was like 18 or 19, and was playing it when
So
I
it's a legacy song.
it was one of the first ones that I started playing, and I was playing it at empty bars when I first started. So I didn't have that like call and response party vibe to it. And then I recorded it in Toronto, and it was great. We did it in like a nicer studio, or nicer than I'd ever worked in before, or whatever. I kind of was. It was one of those things where we're like, oh, we got to go to Toronto to make a cool record. Now I believe you can do it in your backyard. You can do it in your living room if you can do it.
You can do it here in this speakeasy studio.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what happens. But
the sidebar conversation
Yeah.
with the tech side of things. Like, I learned that music videos used to get paid $500,000.
crazy, eh?
Like a Jason Aldean,
wow.
like
Yeah.
the guy that does Jason Aldean's
Yeah.
videos. I just use that pop culture reference.
Yep.
They were about the $500,000 mark back in the day. So
Yep.
you're talking about 20 something years ago.
Yep.
Now they're lucky if they get 50 grand.
Right.
I was doing music videos, and I'm not even going to tell you the number, less than that.
Yep.
And
yeah.
And it's like, and that was one person, just, this is how I see, this is what I want to do. Stuff like that. Producing music too. Like, you got so many remote people that are just as good as, being in a major city, like
Yes.
the hub of it, but right here locally. Thank God for that.
Oh, I know.
Really.
Yeah. And I think like it's crazy.
The opportunity.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, I did a bit of like, I have a little bit of formal education with music, but I never graduated nothing. I'll tell you that. But
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, exactly. And it was interesting though, because I've seen a lot of artists that the more terminology and the more theoretically better they get, the less genuine they are, or the less connected they are, or even the less connected they are to themselves and their performances, where, they might miss a note or they're not able to hit that, like, I don't know, like one of the only terms I really know is like the falsetto or whatever, but they'll miss that. And then all of a sudden they're in their head about technically what went wrong or whatever, as opposed to just like embracing on like, what does the audience feel? Or like, what are the people that are paying you money to be here? Like, or what does like, yeah, if somebody bought, whether it's a $10 ticket, and then there's somebody, actually, I think Waylon said something along these lines to Travis Tritt that was like, if a critic shows up to your show and there's somebody that, gets in for free and they have all this to say about what you're technically doing and like what you're technically doing wrong or this or that, versus like, I mean, their opinion at the end of the day, I mean, it probably means something in the industry or whatever. It means something to their people, but like, it's like, what are the people that are actually paying money to be here? What are the people saying that,
do they
like,
notice? Do they care?
Yeah. And like, and whoever made time out of their 60-hour week to come down to the bar and like make time to listen, like, how do those people feel or whatever? And like, good, then you're good. Like the people that are paying. Yeah. And it's like
100%.
versus, someone that's like, in some cases, like with like big corporations or like big A&R people, like they will, I don't know, sometimes it'll be like, I'm not sure if it happens anymore, but they will pay somebody or they will have somebody to go scout out a show and they'll like get paid to be there.
I've ran into two of them.
Really? Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, if you carry an expensive camera and you're just going around taking photos and stuff,
Yeah.
they kind of make their presence a little known and they stand out because
Right,
there's like the people jumping around like, I'm having fun. Doesn't care. And then there's that serious person that you can tell they're at work. But I think the only reason why I can tell that is because I'm a people watcher. I'm observing.
Right.
I'm being paid
Yeah.
to observe that person on stage. But I can also get, because I try, like, you got to get crowd shots. That's part of the art.
Yes.
How you got to capture what the crowd's thinking.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. And like, yeah, it took me a while, or at least to get out of that mindset of like trying to be perfect and like, or trying to put on like strategically the perfect show.
You can do a good show.
Yes. Oh,
But if you try to be perfect, you're gonna melt down.
yeah, and all of a sudden you're not being genuine. You're putting on that fake smile or whatever or something like that. And yeah, and then all of a sudden the people that are paying to be there or did take the time out of their lives to come see you, and they're like, oh, like I don't know, yeah, just you get washed out, or I don't know what happens, but there's something to be said about you don't got to be like. Like I love guys like, well, there's guys like Stapleton or whatever, just, knocks it out of the park every time, hits those like vocal range. He's just literally like a god. But you don't need to be that to connect with, 100,000 people or a million people or whatever it is. Like you can just, as long as you're genuine and just heartfelt, then yeah, you can do it without being strategically, like an opera singer.
I'll say that like it's I'll pump your own tires here. That's what you do.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
for sure. I've noticed that with like the times that I've watched or you play or something. You do have an actual connection with the artist. Can you hit the high notes like someone like him?
Probably
No,
not.
a lot of people can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But your energy, your demeanor, your aura, whatever you want to classify you as, whatever, people connect with that. Hence why a lot of your peers are saying, will in the background be like, he's gonna go somewhere because he is somebody who's like really talented writer, and that performance will drag on. Like you said, you like someone like Stompin' Tom.
Yeah.
That is a different character,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's just like you're different, but you're not. In a world where everyone's trying to be different, where everyone's just the same, they all got the same fucking problem, all the same horse shit. You actually stand out in the sense where you have a difference that people are engaged with that I've noticed.
Right. Well,
Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
It does. Yeah. And I'm honored.
You're doing your job.
And I'm grateful to at least, to have that, be recognized as that, because there was a point where I was like, strategically, like, I don't know, we're not the best artists. We're not, or at least I'm not my band. Like, at least when I would
You're
play
the best
with, like,
you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the best you.
Exactly. And that's all you can be. Like, if you're trying to be someone else, you'll never be, there's always going to be a bigger fish. If you're, like, I don't know, not to like name artists, but like, I would think of like artists like Zach Top. Like, freaking love Zach Top. And it's like, there's always, an Alan Jackson. And then for Alan Jackson, it's like, oh, there's a George Strait. I'm not, but and then in George Strait, it's
I know
like,
what you mean.
oh,
Yeah, there's always somebody else.
there's a
coming out.
George Jones.
Yeah.
And then a George Jones is like, oh, there's a Hank Sr. or whatever. Like, and so I'm not, I guess, comparing it on
George
that ladder.
Strait. What's his name? It's gonna bug me right now. Jamie Johnson.
Jamie Johnson. Yes,
Right?
exactly. And so
Right?
if you do think of it as like a competition, then it's like there's always,
Alan
somebody.
Jackson, Zach Top.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Who would be Zach Bryan? You would compare to, but like same kind of stuff, because it's like all of us are influenced by who we grew up listening to, and that comes out in your artwork.
Yes, 100% for Zach Bryan. Like, I would like it's not the same, but I kind of recognize him being like, he's kind of, or at least he's been inspired by guys like Bruce Springsteen, or like guys like, or at least that's what I see or whatever. And like, and there's always like, I don't know, but you just got to find your own lane, and just like, and all those guys have their own lane or whatever, like all those guys I named. But if you do think of it like, oh, like I got to be better, I got to be the best freaking country singer to ever live or whatever, there's always, there's one Hank. And like,
Lainey Wilson, Dolly Parton, Carrie Underwood put together.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Faith Hill. Carrie Underwood's got a really good push.
Yeah.
But it's like her twang and sound is just like Dolly.
Yeah. Right,
And it's just like, are you a Lainey Wilson fan at all?
I don't know her music. I've heard her music, and I've like been like, damn, she's
appreciative of how powerful she is.
Exactly. Yeah.
And she's fun on stage. At least anything I've watched, I was like, that is fun
I'm
artist.
definitely an admirer, and like and just give my tip of the hat to her. But I'm not. I guess I'm not like a huge fan. I know people that are, but I just haven't dove through like her music. But I've heard her on the radio where I'm like, who's that singing? And then it's like, that's Lainey Wilson. Okay, I get the hype and all that.
What about if you want to touch on this or not? I mean, I don't care either way. But I mean, you've got somebody that's introed into the country music scene, like Post Malone. That was a hip hop rap guy, but he's just done an album with all these major people. But then you have someone like Beyonce who hasn't been accepted because they're like, you haven't done the right steps to be accepted into the industry.
I think Post did a great job. And I went to a Post show when he was in Nashville.
Is it that good?
Like, it was freaking awesome. And it's America, baby. Like he brings out the fireworks, like brings out, I mean, a lot of them do, but it was like he put on a stellar show, was so heartfelt, was so grateful, and you could sense that, like in a real sense, like we were talking about. Like, it's not in this weird fake, like he's like just such a kind, I've never met him, but you could see through the performance that he was so kind. But then looking through like his transition, like I remember like years ago when he like dropped a couple hints that he was like thinking about.
You could see the small drips years ago.
Yes, exactly.
You could see it.
And I had my doubts, at least at the time. But I also saw his early stages, or like his early videos of like doing songs like Bob Dylan songs or whatever, all that. And like Bob Dylan, he's another guy that like doesn't, I don't know, especially in his early days, he was one of like the original like outlaws, I would say. Like in his early, like he just did things his own way. I love his writing. And Merle Haggard gave him a big head nod in the late years. He's like, that Dylan, like he's like, holy shit, like when he sings like when your rooster crows at the break of dawn, like look out your window and I'll be gone. Like that, like those kind of lines, like they're so country
Lyricist,
as much as they are folky and all that. And so actually, so you can see where Post, like his roots, actually he has those roots. And then he did such a good job actually with like bringing a bunch of amazing writers, a bunch of amazing artists. And it was, I mean, like the song I Had Some Help, you can definitely see that it was not just him. It was a team effort of, and then like, I haven't listened, well, that's the thing, like I haven't really listened to Beyonce's album, but I did, like I looked at it and I saw like a collaboration with Willie Nelson and I'm like, oh, no way. Okay, maybe this is what's going on. And it was like I don't know what you call it. It was like a interlude or something like that, where I was like, you got Willie Nelson, and it was actually pretty cool.
He wasn't actually singing on it, but
No,
he was doing a track over it.
He did, like, it was in between songs. Like, I'm a huge Willie fan. It was in between songs, and I could be wrong on this, but like he was like, oh, welcome to Willie's Smokehouse, and then like he was like, next up we got a little number. Yep.
Keep going.
Next up, we got a little number. So, like, whatever. I think it might have been Jolene, and she did like another rendition of Jolene. Yeah. But it was really interesting. Thank you for that. One sec. That's good enough for now. But yeah. So I don't know. I guess I don't want to. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think like that was definitely a bit of a. I don't know. Like definitely a bit of a snub. In terms of even like the awards and all that, like I just didn't feel like it was as genuine as what Post did or whatever. And I thought Post did, as much as I did have my doubts about it. Like Post did a good job of at least honoring that, I guess, the country culture or whatever. Or yep. Either way, yeah, man, we'll feel it out and like
this is fire. I love this.
Come on, man.
And we're back.
Check.
Check.
Cheers,
Ooh.
cheers. Yeah,
I don't want to harp too much on what other people are doing, but it's just more like a feel. I mean, either way, I mean, none of these huge people are ever going to be in my circle.
Oh yeah.
Different worlds, whatever. I appreciate everyone doing hard work. I see what you guys do to an extent because I'm not actually there, but I get to at least witness some of it. I definitely wanted to talk about, or at least get your in-depth conversation about North of Nowhere. You're emerging artist winner.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you? What's kind of your future? How does that help you? What has North of Nowhere done for you? That's a music festival for, if anyone that watches doesn't know, Lindsay, Ontario. Kelvin, I don't know his last name. I should, but I'm shit with names. But
yeah, me too.
I'll put his handle in there, or
Yes,
like
sir.
I'll plug it on the tags or whatever. But it's really cool. It's different than other big music festivals because it's not utter chaos from what I remember. I showed up there last year with Steve Waters' band, and I got to film. I didn't know anything about it. I'm really bad at that. I just kind of show up and do my thing. I'm tunnel vision.
Yep.
If I'm there for you, I'm worried about you. I don't care what's going around
Me as well.
around me. Yeah. And that was some of my first photos of you on the wall was there. Okay. So what happened there? What did you feel when you were there? And where do you think the trend is going beyond that? What's your future?
Yeah, that's a good question, and it's been a lot to process within the past week because it definitely got some wheels in motion, for sure. And at the core of it, it honestly, like, to have my town and have, like, you know, my fans who came out to it and have, like, I guess the audience kind of take such a, I don't know, on a, like, or a, like they really accepted me. I guess the audience that didn't know me there was very, like, highly acceptive. The people that came out and rooted for me, like, they they cheered me on, and like they were hooting and hollering, and that honestly like meant the world to me. And in the sense of like, it's finally nice to like go from or take the songs that I've written, you know, around the living room or kitchen tables at the pubs, to take those songs and show them like on a platform that is a little bit, you know, it has some broader horizons to it. And so
There's a lot of eyes on it.
yeah, exactly. And to do that, I think I did it in like the right time and place. Like if I had did it when I was a lot younger, I'm not sure if I would have had the same response or the same, even on my end, maybe not the same appreciation for the opportunity, or whatever that is. Like I felt like it was just the right time where I had the hometown behind me. I had at least my friends and my family behind me. And then that kind of rubbed off on the rest of them in the sense. So it was like to have that crowd like actually like on my side was, I guess, that was my biggest accomplishment in that whole thing. And I know like, you know, I'm fortunate to be on the forefront of their emerging artist list, which was like beyond talented. Like I was sitting backstage listening to some of these other artists. I'm like, oh my God, like what did I get myself into? Like, oh my God.
How hard is that for a judge?
Yeah,
Right,
I know.
Like, you know what I mean? When someone's
I would
like,
hate.
all of you?
Yeah.
Because everyone's
That's
on.
what I would've done.
Yeah, everyone's like, everyone's a winner. You're like, nope, this isn't Timbits. You know,
Exactly,
like
yeah.
Somebody's winning.
That's the hardest thing. So throughout it all, I tried not to pay too much attention to what anybody else was doing. Like you said, I had that tunnel vision of like, you know what, I got my goal, I got my songs, and like I got my intentions here, and we're gonna go execute that. And we're gonna do it to our best ability. And I was really more so just concerned about the audience or whatever. And like I was concerned about what the judges were thinking, but I'm like, you know what, like I don't know. I don't want to just entertain 3 people. I want to make sure everybody in this festival or whatever is having a good time, and I want to just make sure that crowd is, you know, they're hooting and
They
hollering.
paid to be there. They want to be everybody
to
wants.
go back on that. Yeah. And so it was just, you know what, let's not think of this as a competition. Let's just look out there and see the faces, see the smiling faces, see the engagement or whatever, and like just keep that going or whatever, as opposed to like getting in my own head, having a party for one. That's a good, I don't know, like you can, like there's artists that it can happen. I've done it, or like you go up there and you have a party for one and you don't care about the audience or whatever. And like, in it, like, I don't know, that's actually like I don't know, that can be your biggest mistake, or for me, that is my biggest mistake if that ever happens or whatever. It's
That's
like,
a fair point.
Yeah,
the
like,
business is entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
You're there to entertain people. That's it.
It is like I'm a part of this, but this isn't for me. It's actually for the people that, you know, come out, and the people that feeling, and the people that's what I write songs for. Yes, yeah, exactly. Like you want
to create entertainment for somebody, and you also want to be appreciated. So it's a give and take relationship.
Yes.
The product that you put out, you enjoy as well as others.
Exactly. And you want it to be a fair trade.
Yeah.
Like,
as soon as you're like, this is the shit, I don't care what anyone thinks.
Yes.
Narcissism.
Exactly.
You're like, it's only the shit if everyone likes it. If not, then you're just painting pictures in a room that only you look at.
Exactly. And I have my songs like that I'm like, I think this is like my best song ever. Play it to a crowd and they're like, like, I don't know, like, yeah, it's cool. But then there's songs, and especially like when you're writing with collaborations, it's collaborating is really cool. Or collaborating.
I'm privy to that because I get the original audio to do work with people. Yeah, and I've tried to buy songs and people will not sell them to me. I'm like, let me buy half. Yeah, and I don't have any money. I just want to buy half because I'm like, I think that song's gonna be a banger.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's amazing. And like I've spent weeks on songs and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like my next hit or whatever, and then it becomes something that means so much to me. Doesn't mean anything to anybody else or whatever, or it's so specific. And there's sometimes where you get the fine balance of that. But if it is all about you, then it's like, why do you have an audience? Just sing it in the bedroom if you need to or whatever, or sing it, you know, in your backyard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is like, it's such a give and take. And like, and when people show up for you, it's like, yeah, okay, this has to be a fair trade thing. Or when people stream your music, when people buy your music or buy your merch, it's like, yes, it has to be equally if not more, about them than it is about you. And and to actually, I don't know, I'm rambling, but I spent so
Ramble
much time.
away, buddy.
Well, thank you. I spent so much time, like, if I could play for nothing and get by, just playing music, that was my goal. Play the bars, but then got to a point where my family and friends and then people fans start rooting for you enough where you're like, okay, like,
shit, now I got to do something with this.
yeah, like I could get by playing a bar gig or playing bars every week if I wanted to, or every day if I wanted to. But that's not maybe what my family wants to see. That's not what my fans want to see. They want to see you, like, take over the world if you can. And
they want to pay $1,000 a ticket that you comp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's what everybody wants. Everyone wants those box seats at Rogers Center.
Exactly.
That is like, this is his box and I know him. It is.
Then as
it's a compliment. It is.
Yeah, and I take it. And but there was a point, and especially more so recently, where I'm like, okay, now I still need to, I guess, make music for myself that I'm proud about, but I can't. But I have to, like, work for my audience. Now I'm not just working for myself. I'm working for the people that are rooting for me, and I'm working I'm working for mom. Like, she wants to see something.
No, it's true though.
Grandma,
it's like as soon as you get any bit of the limelight,
then
you got to rhyme tight.
Yeah, that's it. Come on, that's another. Is that used?
That's Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls.
That's it.
I'm in the limelight because I rhyme tight. I think so. God, I hope that's right, or else I look like a huge idiot.
No, but I'll take it.
But it's true though. It's like you think, okay, I've got on the big stage now. I can just coast.
Yeah, no.
Nope. I watched someone like Owen Regling a few times that I've just been a party to at the same place, same time, and then fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a whole thing after the fact. You would just play that show for 2 hours and you're just giving her. Then you got to sign autographs, take pictures, and everyone's grabbing at you. Everyone's pulling.
Yeah.
They're like, I need more of you. I need more of you. And I honestly feel for people in that sense where it's like, you did your job, you paid the ticket, you got the entertainment. Now, like, I want the picture. I want you to sign this. Kit Moore, same thing when I was with Riley Taylor and then Kit Moore, plug.
Come on.
Yeah, story to tell.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Honky Talks Records. Right?
Woo! There we go. Cheers to that.
Cheers. I watched that. Like, Kit Moore only does certain signings, and he only does certain. And it was like, and watching him and that level, I was like, oh my god, like, that is insane. They're like, you owe me. You owe me. I need a picture with you. I need sign, and it's like super overwhelming. I'm like, that is insane to watch how people flip.
Yeah,
just like that. And it's like, and it's, you can't, once you're now you're stepping up. Now you're doing. Now you got to keep giving more and more and more.
Yeah,
and it's like I appreciate people in your field now more watching from a lens because I see it in high definition of what people's energies are like. They love you while you're on stage and they want more after.
Yeah, and that's the biggest compliment is like you leave them wanting more versus being like, all right, I've had enough, like I'm going or whatever. Like that's but in a perfect world, like I would love to, everyone that's ever supported me, like I would love to invite everybody into my backyard, bring them into the living room, this and that. But like in a perfect world, you can do that. And I don't know. And or even like I even like before, well, even without music, I struggle to like answer my phone or like answer like text messages. And like I'm like, and I've
tried to talk to Riley before.
Yeah. Oh, he like me and him are like, I don't know. Like I've been working on it, but I don't know where
people are like that. I mean, I'm from my profession. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no.
I have to pick up my phone all the time.
I'm learning that. Like I'm getting there.
It's 15 years of it. It tweaks you out a little bit.
Yep.
It tweaks 100%.
You out. Yeah.
But you've got multiple sources of communication: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
Yep.
Excuse me, text message, phone call, voicemail, all that stuff, and you're like, holy fuck, just pick one. Nope, you got 10.
Yeah. Which like I kind of like I appreciate like if somebody reaches out to me over Facebook and I don't get back to them. It's like, and then they reach out to me over Instagram, don't get back to them by accident. It's never like a personal thing or whatever.
No, it's never is. You're just busy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, but then
like, look what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
we're spending.
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
we're 3 hours of like total time. Like you drove here, that probably took you an hour and a bit. Then we're in deep conversation, uninterrupted, for 2 hours. Yep. And then there's post after. We got to decompress after this. So there's a window. There's a 4-hour window where somebody's not getting a hold of you at all.
No, exactly. Yeah,
at all.
And that's just the way the world goes around, you know. And Yeah, and I don't know. I think like I have a lot of friends that, and like my best friends or whatever, and they're like, man, like how like why are you so hard to get a hold of? I'm just like, man, like not even that I'm an overly busy guy, but I even just take so long to speak of the devil, eh?
We're on air, baby.
Come
We're
on,
air.
yeah. And it's like if I even like I also when I do answer my text, I try to be very thoughtful and even will send a longer message than a shorter message. But it's like if you do that constantly, you only have so much time in the day. You know, it's like I'd be on my phone 24 hours if I did answer every. Like I don't everything, and I'm not saying like I guess like overly like overwhelmed by any of my friends' text messages by any means. But
No,
I'm doing
but I
it.
get it. You got shit
exactly.
going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Add a wife and kids and to it, and then you're like you got to divide I divide my time. I try to do the best I can because I want to have a nice, healthy home life.
Yes.
Home life. Drinks. And also, I want to do stuff that I'm passionate about, like this. You know, I have a career that pays the mortgage and bills and stuff like that. So yeah, you're right. You're like you got to and like in what you do, your headspace is very important because your artwork reflects that.
Right.
So if you're too cluttered with too many things, your art form is going to shit the bed.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe not shit the bed, but it's not the same as if you were clear.
Yeah, and sometimes like even there's certain thoughts and conversations, especially with writing, where I like to stew over them. And when I know it's like something I'm passionate about, it's like let's put this out into song before I rant to my buddy about this or something like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's a therapeutic.
Yeah, and like you know, I love what we're doing right now, the bar conversations that you have. Cheers to that with your buddies. But there's some cases where you're feeling passionate about this, you know, this situation or whatever, and then you spew it out at the bar, and then it's out of you or whatever in a good way. Like sometimes that is like a good way, but I'm fortunate like with songwriting that like I have that that area to put out some just put out my energy. You know, even like there's good energy put into songs. And then sometimes even like, you know, there's negative energy that you don't know what to do with. And as opposed to going out to drink at the bar or, you know.
Outlet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like working out or whatever. It's like, yeah, or as opposed to, you know, say you're angry at someone and you're, you know, in the wrong or they're in the wrong, whatever the hell it is. As opposed to, you know, getting into an argument. It's like, I'm going to think this through on my own. I'm going to write a song about this situation, you know, whether yeah, it's an argument, you know, from work or an argument, you know, in your love life, in your buddy life or whatever. I'm so fortunate for songwriting that you have that, or at least I have that. It's like working out or whatever, or anything like that, or any kind of just hobby that you're like, yeah, no, I need to.
Working out is therapeutic for me. Like I'm zoned out for 45 minutes. I'm unreachable. If somebody tries to call me, like, it's not my wife's fault, but if anyone interrupts me, I get pissed. It's like a meditation. I'm like, I need to fight the world's demons right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it's all said and done, you're like, holy smokes.
Woo!
Like, yeah. Like,
let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, whether you're becoming Arnold Schwarzenegger or for me, like, you know, writing a hit. I mean, ideally, you're always striving for that. But, you know, you don't even have to, like, that's a whole different.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any hits right now, but I'm still working on it. But,
you've got quite a few.
Theoretically, we'll see.
You've got quite a few.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But,
what did you get out of North of Nowhere? What happened when you won that? Like, so, so people who don't understand how it kind of all works, when you won the Emerging Showcase, what does that mean?
Well, bragging rights, really, first off and foremost, you get, I'll be working with Honky Tonk Records on a few songs, and we're just going to kind of kick that ball as far as we can take it, like as a group. And now we're kind of.
So what do they do for that?
Recording, bringing to life a lot, or at least a few of the songs that I have already. And then if those go well, then we're going to just keep on kicking that ball as far as we can. And then there's other like radio, there's a radio interview that I got to do, which I'm not good at the interview side of things.
Really? Because you're doing 2 hours of it right now.
Yeah. Buddy. Well, I mean, there's beer involved.
Yeah.
So.
Like I'm going to be honest with you. It's been fantastic.
Well, I appreciate you for that. I'm stoked to be
natural.
To be
I'll
here.
say honestly,
well,
natural. As soon as you get somebody comfortable,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
As soon as you just start talking, you forget the cameras. Like, I'm just doing camera checks every so many minutes, make sure the camera button's still rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, like, you're a great conversator. Conversationalist. There
Something
we go.
like that, I think.
I do have a brain. I'm not stupid. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
good, no.
Yeah, I'm
brain's
saying
there.
like your confidence is very well, but I mean like you're natural at it, right? You've got a
thank
stage
you.
presence. You can play in front of a bunch of drunk people. They're like, play something, like
That helps, or at least that experience that I have
Yeah.
behind that helps.
that's a big
But-
deal. You're getting radio, you're getting
Yes,
radio features.
Yeah, and then they will play a song, and then I'll get my foot in the door, and then just we'll be going back next year for a more a longer set. I'm not sure.
Oh, so you get stage presence
Yes.
next year because
yes,
of it? Okay,
exactly.
that's cool.
And then just just a lot of connection with a lot of their
It's networking.
fan base, bringing my fan base to them, and then we kind of just met in the middle there, and yeah, I'm just literally it was a great way to like bring what I've been doing in the small town on the small town stages and be like, no, like this can work or whatever. This can be on a bigger stage. And like, there was a lot of people that like, even on the Friday, like I had some friends that they were like, oh, we didn't think you were gonna make it, or at least or not like when they were at the when they were at the festival, they were like, yeah, like we see it now, but then like beforehand they only bought the tickets for the one Friday. Like God bless them, but it was such a big competition, and it's one of those things that you don't always think the small town kid or like the small town guy that plays at the bar and is drinking at the bar can and I don't know, I'm beyond proud that I was able to like get there and do that and bring the songs that we wrote from the small towns and play them on a big stage and play them to an audience and then connect with that audience. Like that was like the biggest, like, I don't know, the biggest, I don't know if I don't think accomplishment's the right word, but like the biggest
honor.
prize, honor and prize, I would say, out of that whole experience was, actually getting to sing these songs that I've sang drunk to 5 people so many freaking times.
You can do it drunk, you can do it sober.
Right?
Like
you
gotta do it drunk, you can do it sober.
You got to get the muscle memory down, and I think it goes both ways there. But yeah, I don't know. And so all in all, it was just a really great opportunity to kick the ball into the net, and then hopefully you line up at the face off again. I should say shoot the puck into the net, actually. That was a great opportunity for that. But then, you line up on the face off again, then you have a little bit more confidence and some more people behind you, some more fans that you can just be like, okay, like I'm thrilled, honored to accomplish that. But now, we're still only in the first period or whatever. We're going to keep on passing
You got lots
puck.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then what do you project your future? I mean, we've only got some minutes left here, but...
So
what's your do you have a plan? Is there any of that sort of thing? What's Honky Tonk going to do for you? How do they operate?
So
what do you see in your future?
So I'm working with them now, and we're all I can say is, I guess, more music, more shows, more life, going into a direction that I want it to go. I'm looking where I want to go. I got ideas that I can bring to life, and that they're going to help platform and they reinforce or whatever.
And they don't own any of you, right? Like that. I know briefly about them, but I'm as from like an artist.
Yes.
As like from a,
yes.
like I'm saying it in like a rhetorical question. Like I'm not an artist with them, but it's like I've been around them long enough where they're very independent people, where they get you, like they help you with what you're doing.
Exactly. They're rooting for me, and I'm rooting for them. And so, and now
it's a win-win build situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
it's grassroots type of
exactly. And so that is so refreshing. And so I'm so thankful to be a part of that, versus I have like kind of shopped around other opportunities and other labels in the past. And it's much more product oriented in a respectful way or whatever, but it's a
different
more
business model that you weren't very happy with.
Yes, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to fit into this, and I don't really want to be one of those artists that has to compromise my name, my image, myself, my values, my philosophies or whatever, my songs, that all those like shape into songs or whatever. but I don't ever want to like really compromise that just to fit in or just to go, here. I'd rather be myself and, build up a team of people that I believe in, who believe in me. And then
It's a group.
and then we build that up as far as we can go with it. And then ideally, ideally the sky's the limit and blue sky's dream. We're going to be, let's take over Canada. No, excuse me.
No, that's a great,
yeah,
that's a
and
great
then-
ambition to have, right?
and then
It's
go-
like you got Tragically Hip, you got Stompin' Tom, you got Nickelback.
I love
you
that,
got all
yeah.
that, and it's like they all have their own things, their own area,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good to have a goal to say, hey, I'm a different Canadian icon. There's obviously more.
Yeah.
I'm just those are the ones off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But it's good to have a goal and to strive for that.
Exactly. Yeah. And set those goals and then
Pride, which we talked about earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And then have the belief in yourself. I spent a long time of like kind of just not being, I didn't think it was possible to do that. And you look at these musicians, like the guys like Gord Downey and you know, Nickelback and Neil Young, where you're like, these guys are like mythical creatures.
Yeah,
you know?
Neil Young, you're from-
Yeah, no, you're
yeah.
good there. You're like, these guys are like mythical creatures, and like they don't, like that doesn't happen or that doesn't exist for a lot of people. But then
Put in the work.
yeah, exactly. And then I met guys like Riley Taylor, Owen Ringling,
Yeah.
Jade Eagleson,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they're just
Yeah.
like Robin Ottolini. I don't know. I don't even want to be like naming names because I'm
We're
forgetting.
name dropping to be a dick here, but
I'm even forgetting lots of others.
I will.
But like,
If somebody wants to add to this name drop here, come on here. Let's do it.
yeah, like,
Yeah, you know what I
come
mean?
on, but
Yeah.
all these, like all those artists.
I like pumping tires
showed
of all
me-
those people.
Yeah, exactly. They all
Riley Taylor shirt.
Come on. That's it. Story to tell. We're telling stories. Come
Yeah.
on. But yeah, they all showed me. It was like, no, like you work hard, you be genuine. You set goals and you just show up. The world is run by the people that show up, and we're all human. We're all people. Nobody's taller than the trees or whatever. Like, And so
No
all
one's taller than the trees. Write that down, girl.
that's another line.
I did notice that with the Kip Moore team.
Yeah.
They were very, like, that whole group was very tight, at least from what they presented.
Yeah.
Again, behind closed doors is different, but like hanging out with someone as big of a deal as Kip Moore and his whole team, they were all very much about, like, I didn't see any drama.
Yeah.
And I was watching. I was very much just like they were watching us. Same thing. But I watched them. They were all they were worried about the Canada. They were worried about Canada, U.S. feud. I'm like,
Yep.
people are here to watch you play music. They don't give a fuck about tariffs and whatever nonsense the government's talking about.
Yeah.
Those people love him and his band because of the music they play,
Yeah.
not because of where you're from. A lot of them are probably not, like, I'm not even thinking of that, but they were concerned about that.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah.
And it's like I said to like some people in the team, and I'm like, people are paying a lot of money to watch you come play fucking music. Clearly they like you, or else they wouldn't be here to troll you. Like,
Yeah.
people in Canada don't have that type of fuck you money.
Yeah,
Like, I'm gonna
right,
spend whatever X amount of dollars to follow Kip Moore around and shit talk him. No, they're there because they're diehard fans.
Yeah,
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, and like it's amazing. Just on both ends of, I don't know. Well, especially like I love artists that are like that, or like Kip. I've heard wonderful things about Kip of being, he's magnificent on stage, and then off stage, just as freaking cool.
Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
I'll say
like-
this from a personal example.
Yeah.
Southern hospitality. I can see why he has a fan base like he does.
Yeah.
I 100% get why.
Yeah.
All of his band members. I was playing Donkey Kong with his drummer. Again, drinks and on the spot here. Forget
go
the
for
gentleman's
it.
name, but super sweet guys. Like, they're all super nice. I hung out with Cody, the person that does merch, the female. She was great too. Everyone, the guitar tech. He is super big, passionate. Sean with photography, and him and I, right off the bat, I'm just like, as soon as someone's like, "What lens do you got?" I'm like, "This guy is a cool dude." I followed him before,
No
like, just
way, yeah.
randomly, and I'm like, "Holy shit, I follow you on Instagram." And he's just like, "Okay," and I was like, I've seen your shit before. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, okay, right." And I was like, "If you see the dog," I'm like, "That's me." Like the hound dog.
Yes, sir.
I said, "That's me." I'm like, I never put my face on things because I'm just people would rather see a dog or a female than me.
And you're behind the camera.
Yeah, behind the camera, no one cares. Just take the picture and shut up, man. But
Come on.
that sorry, I'm just rambling. But their
You're
whole
good.
team was super, super nice and very talented at what they do, and they strive for putting on a really good show.
Exactly.
And I think that's what makes them a global sensation.
right. Yeah.
I think you're doing
yeah.
the same thing, man. You're on the right
yes,
path.
That's one of the core values is to follow up into that and just I guess be kind, work hard. That's like the motto around my neck of the woods and what we're doing on my team. So we're just gonna keep it that way and keep on being kind and working hard.
Good for you, man. You know, I'm gonna cheers you. Let's end on that note.
Let's end on it.
We're almost at 2-hour mark.
Come
Cheers,
on,
buddy.
Lee. Woo! Thank you for this.
You're welcome back anytime. Let people know where they can find you at.
Yep.
Plug your socials. What are you on Facebook, what, Instagram? What do you have a website?
Yep.
Where can they find you?
I don't know how many. Add me up as a friend on Facebook, Harry Hanna. I think I got a couple pages, but they're not.
What's your Instagram handle? Same thing, Harry Hanna.
Yes, Harold _ the Hanna. That was
the Hanna.
that was just the what do you call it? Yeah, the handle that I came
name
up
that
with.
was available.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so Harold the Hanna on Instagram, Harry Hanna on Facebook, Harry Hanna on Spotify. We got my old tunes up there. There's more coming. YouTube, we got some older videos up there as well. There's hopefully more coming.
If I can,
Yeah.
because I leave my content open, so you could literally put this on your channel.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I want
for
to
sure.
do. Anybody
Yep.
that comes on here, that's what I created this whole thing. I'm starting to create, I should say start. I want to promote people that I want to be affiliated to.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah. Same goes.
Yeah. So I want you to be able to share this. So my content's always open. So if somebody wants to see this full interview or shorts or whatever we make, that's what's going to happen
Rock on
for that.
Well, thank you for that.
Any websites, anything like that?
I got harryhanna.com as well,
shit.
but we haven't updated it for a little bit or since like the North of Nowhere.
In a minute.
So yeah, but that's coming. Like our next stage is just to take this from here and put it to there.
This will be early August. This episode will be out. Where are you going to be? Any local bars, any festivals, any shows in the next August to December?
Okay, yeah, we're doing the Hootenanny in Peterborough at the Peterborough Rib Fest. There's
Nice.
going to be
Nice.
a great lineup of artists there. August 23rd, I believe that is. It's a weekend event, the weekend of August 23rd. And that's going to be a great time. There's a lot of the Honky Tonk crew on that. There's a few other headliners, and it's going to be a full weekend of good country music and good beer and
Nice.
good ribs. Come on.
Ribs.
Yeah, so that's one of the next ones that I'm looking forward to. I'm also doing, I guess, early August, doing some things in Coburg Beach Jam, and then next weekend, I'm opening up for the Coburg Sandcastle Festival. So,
shit.
yeah, that'll be some fun. But yeah, then we're just gonna kind of keep on booking it as we can, and if something comes our way,
I'll have you back on here for reoccurring if you'd like to come back on.
for sure, of course,
Sweet.
of course, I love it. This
Cheers,
is
buddy.
the only podcast I have done, and
Hey,
we'll see.
you're gonna spend a lot more of that unfree time on podcast, buddy. You're
yes,
great.
sir. Yes, sir. Well,
Take
thank
care.
you for that. Woo! Let's go, Lee. Woo! Buddy. Thank you for that once again off camera.